this laugh when I was over the short. So just stand there and brace yourself.
Right. Hey, you can go hard on that.
Yeah, well, you don't want to on a big one. I've only just gone like that to you. Yeah. Spade and I went like that. Now, you see, this is what we always get.
See, look.
A laugh.
That's...
People think that it's
that.
easy. But if anybody thinks, there's only one way I can prove it, and that is to ask you to put that shield on your arm and let me hit you.
See what it's
then
done,
you realise the power that is going in there.
Try another one there.
Steady.
These 3 knights are an advance guard of the dozen or so knights who'll be jousting at the Ulster 71 show. They've just come from Nottingham. At Nottingham, 11 of them were out on the field, 8 of them ended up in hospital. It's a very dangerous business. They're all a great bunch of characters. Take Max Diamond, who's the leader.
We can get killed just as well in training as we can on the actual tournament. This ground is like iron, it's concrete, and I've got a rib just coming away from the lung. It's just healing up, and Nosher's still got a hairline fracture in his hand, and Greg's not all that marvellous today, and Bob has got a broken hand, as you can see, with plaster on.
Well, how did you get all these?
Oh, we've had a hell of a year this year. Every one of us has been injured. And Denny Powler's got a groin injury and kidney injury. Jack Cooper had a cut right to his forehead, right to the bone. I had a cut there at Bath, right through with the sword to the bone, and the blood. The public loved it. Oh, they loved it. No blood capsules. It was all over. It stained it all. I think I've got a couple of odd stains around underneath that will not come off. But it was smothered. It was fantastic. It looked great. Crowd cheered. Beautiful. White as anything I was. I was going to say a trade name then. And I just stopped myself. But the crowd love it. They really do. It's very exciting for them.
But when you're not jousting, are you in hospital or?
Oh no, plenty of work to do because there's next year as well. The boys can have a rest, and we're filming as well in between time. But I have no time to film.
You are a stuntman.
Oh yeah, we're film stuntmen, every one of us.
So that if there's a bit of action on the screen, the chances are that it's one of your boys doing it.
Oh yeah, they're good boys.
Television programs?
Television and films. In fact, they're the best. I think we've got the best stunt team in the world, bar none, because we cover every part of the stunt industry, you know, every part of stunts, which is fantastic.
What television programs, for instance, recently were you in? Ones that were on the screen?
Let's have a look. The repeats of Manhunt now, the action scenes in that, the big, there was one program, one episode with no speaking in at all, and it was all action. The whole building's being blown up. I was killed twice in that, by the way. I came to life in the second half, and then got killed again at the end. Doctor Who, I've been killed about 4 times in. And the Manhunt, every program. I mean, there's a new one now, The Guardian, starting. Most of the boys are in there.
When you're out there and the 2 horses are coming together and the lances are directed at each other,
that's very
how do you feel?
Well, you don't think. It's great excitement. Before the actual thing, when I'm on the horse and we come in, that's okay, the pageantry, it's great. Then suddenly the fanfare goes, and then the 2 nights I'm called over, and suddenly my tummy, I get a tight feeling there, and my bottles pop in like mad, pop, 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 like a machine gun, honestly. And I go back, the helm goes on, the page gives me the shield, and I get the lance, and suddenly I'm thinking, oh God, what am I doing? I'm too old, you know, I should be back behind a desk. Then suddenly as the signal goes, I get this, the adrenaline starts flowing, and whoa, we go balmy. It's a fantastic feeling. You don't care whether you get killed, come off, or what, until the end of the tour, and you think, whoa, stop the horse, you can't, no brakes. You've got about 10 yards, that's all.
Yeah. But if that lance gets you in the chest and you're lifted...
Go right through. It's 12-foot bamboo.
But your helmets aren't metal now. Many people think they are metal.
No, this is boar's hide. As you can see, it's a leather, and they had leather armour those days. They didn't have plate mail in that period, or in the 13th century. Yeah. And this is great protection because it's got a metal frame, a piece of metal on here, wood at the top, and the rest of it is complete boar's hide, and it is exactly a replica of what's in the Tower of London.
Has it saved you?
Oh, gosh, look at that. Would have hit my jaw, wouldn't it? Lance. If I didn't have that on, would have smashed my jaw.
That says there?
There it is, the dent. Crunch. I came off. Ground was hard. I had no pads on, otherwise I'd have bounced back on the horse.
Well, let's see you in action then.
Yeah, we'll have a go for you.
Now, while you were laughing, I want you to look at this. That's solid steel right the way through there, impregnated metal. Now that's the force that we've got to hit those with, to break that.
Hit me.
So easy. Then we used to